Welcome to another episode of High Proof Ashes. I'm one of your co-hosts, Jason JB Smoke, and in the center again,
Rand, no cool nickname, and to the right, our guest. We are doing part two. Had to move inside.
we did.
Rain came.
Yep.
But as you can see, Super still in the background.
Yes,
And I
it
developed
is.
a nickname from round one to round two.
What's your nickname?
The asshole.
I don't think so.
They're self-proclaimed. I'm proud of it.
I was about to say, because I'm a pretty big asshole myself. So
But it's like when you make yourself a superhero. Except I'm an asshole.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, the superhero logo is like a brown stain.
and we're back.
Okay, yeah,
I love it. I love it. Let's do this. So what we smoking this time?
Yeah, I was going to
around?
say, before we get to the banter, let's talk about what we're smoking here. So we've done this before, I believe, on the podcast,
different
but
Vitola.
I figured, got us a nice guest here, and let's smoke something nice. So this is the Diamond Crown Maximus. This one is the number 6 Double Robusto. Got these at the lounge over in
L&J?
Where was your party? LJ? Is that what it was?
Yeah.
Yeah. So they had a dusty box of these sitting up,
It's the
and
best ones.
exactly. Well, even better for you because it's free,
Yeah.
as you said.
Well, like I said earlier, the best cigars are free.
Right.
I like it.
So I think we've said it before. The closest thing you're going to get to the original
Black Diamond.
Black Diamond.
Yeah, these are great sticks. I've had several of them in my time of smoking.
Yeah.
They never let you down. It's another one though. Like you can find them, but if you can find them in an old dusty box somewhere,
Yeah.
That's
You know, they
when
got a
you-
little
that's
age
when you
on them.
stored, yeah.
I mean,
and it's another one too though to appreciate it.
yes.
You don't smoke it every day. You don't smoke it every other day. You just smoke it on occasion,
Very much on occasion.
right? Because
Can't even remember the last time I had one of these out of the box.
that's when
I
it's gonna be really
smoke
good.
them too much. I'm not gonna lie, because they have them at Cigar International.
Yeah, I think I gave
Anytime
you
I'm
one
in
of these.
Cigar International, I'm gonna buy a handful.
Anytime I go in there, like generally I hate it, but when I go in there, I always look for something I've never seen before.
I get that.
So I saw the one you all were talking about last time I was down there, and y'all were there. It's the
That Armada.
Neanderthal.
It was the Armada, the
It was
Man
one
of
that was like-
War.
The Man of War, yeah.
No, it was a different one. This is one y'all told me that if I smoked it, it'd kick my ass. And it was like I want to say like Neanderthal or something. It's short.
La Flor Dominica?
Nope.
It wasn't a Neanderthal because we haven't done that
No,
one.
it's on like when you walk in the humidor, it's on the back wall, but on the shelf facing the wall. About halfway down. It's maybe a little smaller than this one, but I saw it. I thought about it. I wish I could remember the name of it was exactly because I know y'all told me about it.
I don't remember.
And but anyway,
I can't think
I
of
want to try that one, but it's a short smoke, so I want to have a situation like this.
Mhm.
You know, because if I'm sitting out here at night when I get out at 10 o'clock, I want to smoke for 4 hours. You know, not 30 minutes.
I get that. So when you want to smoke for 4 hours, what are you going to?
I really, for the daily smoke, the LFD Double Ligero.
Okay.
Hard to beat. It's got a good hit to it. It'll burn for hours. It's not bad by any stretch, and it's not obviously the best thing in the world. You know, but it works for that. But what are we drinking here, Brad? You picked this one.
So we're doing the Evan Williams single barrel. If you know, you know. It's kind of hard to get.
It is. A lot of times,
It's a lower proof bourbon, but full of flavor.
if the store has it, it's usually one bottle.
One bottle only. And if it's not one bottle only, I would be rude and I'd buy them all probably.
Very good.
And it's not crazy pricey. I think it runs about $45.
I don't even know if it's that much. To be honest.
Like it might even be less. Yeah, it might be less.
It might be a $35.
It might be.
Seriously. I mean, it's Evan Williams, right? Like the standard Evan Williams is $20.
Right.
The bottled and bond Evan Williams is $20. Like they're not a pricey brand by any means. So
Mhm.
I think too, like a lot of your whiskey and bourbon snobs, like they overlook brands like that because they just associate them with the cheap shit, right?
So
There are
here's the
some
thing.
brands
Those are not real bourbon snobs.
Right.
Those are people who
Well,
think they know bourbon.
Right. It's not $100. I'm not drinking it. Those
Bingo.
people. I'm like, the greatest pleasure I found cigars and bourbon alike. I want to find some cheapest shit that'll blow your socks off.
Yep. That I can drink all the time and not feel bad about
And
drinking.
that's why we have the criteria bottles.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the hunt, right?
Yeah.
I want to go out and find it.
We've got the criteria bottles that are 100 proof, 4 year, less than $40, which now it's I think we upped it to $50, right?
Mhm.
But trying to find those just little rare gems that are sort of everyday bottles. Really, they're just on the shelf. This one here, the single barrel, is not technically a criteria bottle because it's only like 86 proof. But that's the only thing holding it back.
Yes.
Because it is arguably one of the best.
Wow, all these fucking lighters and none of them work.
Arguably one of the best under 100 proof bottles you're ever going to find.
Well, use this one too if you want to light your finger all fine. But you remember when Blanton's used to be like that, right? So Blanton's used to be better, and I don't know what changed outside of the hype. But I remember when Blanton's was cheap, relatively speaking, and it was really good because of that. I think was part of the reason it was so good.
I think they just started making it for the masses.
Yeah.
Being honest, they started making it more mass appeal, which made it not so unique anymore.
Yeah.
And yet they still try to control stock to make it look like it's
So the allocated
rare.
thing is just a problem, man. Like, we've talked about so many times, like, just make more. Just make more. But I understand the reason they don't make more, right? Like, they're trying to hold on to the prestige and.
Well, it's not only that, but they also, let's just be real, a vast majority or a large chunk of what they make goes into Fireball, which is their highest profiting product.
Right.
And so if you're asking them to make more Blantons, they have to take that away from Fireball.
Well, so again, I could care less if you make more Blandons. It's one of those bottles. I'm not saying Blandons is bad. Don't get at me in the
They're
comments.
coming at you now.
You know what I'm saying?
But no,
But for the price point,
let's keep it real. They shouldn't even bother with regular Blantons. Just make the gold.
make the gold straight from the barrel.
Straight from the barrel.
Yeah.
Because
charge
those,
the same as you charge for the regular Blantons.
those are actually good. And if you didn't make regular Blantons, you would have way more product in the gold and the straight from the barrel line. And the price wouldn't be what it is. That's the real deal.
Yeah, for sure.
You don't even have to take away from your Fireball stock.
But again, when we start talking bourbon snob, and I don't consider myself a bourbon snob, like, I know enough about bourbon to be dangerous. I know a good bottle when I see one, but also at the same time, like, I'm not the guy that is out hunting like the super hard to find bottles. If I run across one at an appropriate price,
right,
or I win one in a lottery, I'm totally in. But like, there's a handful of bottles that, like, if it came to me at a certain price, I would buy. But for the most part, like, I'm good with having a lot of the stuff that you see on the table right here, right?
Yeah.
Like, some of
There's
them,
a lot of really good stuff.
yeah. But I mean, I like a little bit higher proof, right? But
Yeah, but at 5 o'clock in the
look,
afternoon.
Yeah.
You're right.
But like, so we're high proof guys, right?
Yeah.
But everything.
maybe our podcast is high proof ashes. Like,
Oh shit! This isn't Joe Rogan.
no, maybe one day got there. Like,
But seriously, like, everything on the table is under 100 proof.
But it's all really good. Like, and
It's all really good.
I like that, especially when you have the sweet tea glasses, like I was talking about earlier.
yeah,
But I find, and in all seriousness, I typically know a shitload about bourbon when I've had a lot of bourbon. You ever notice that? I can sit here and drink a few of these, and all of a sudden I know all that shit. At least I think I do.
I mean, hey, listen, we don't judge. And again, like, I think when I'm talking to somebody, and the first thing they say is, hey, I like Blantons. I'm like, you don't really do this for real.
I like Blanton's,
No, that's perfectly
but
fine.
I do like the gold label.
You know what I'm saying? But like, my thing being, if the first bottle you name as like, your peak bottle is Blanton's,
Because everybody knows the name.
Everybody
and they
knows
know
the
that
name.
everybody knows
It's that
it.
prestige, right?
Yeah,
Exactly.
Yeah.
but like, people ask me all the time, like, hey, Durant, like, just recently I've come to the conclusion, they're like, what's your favorite bottle? And I'm like, Buzzard Drew Cigar Rye. Half the people I say that to, no clue what it is. None. Like,
I don't even know what the fuck that is. You know what my favorite is? Stag Junior.
That's
You know
the
why?
higher proof
Because when
one.
you drink it, it feels like you just drank fire. I feel like I just ate a demon.
Yeah. I wish I'd have known that. We could have brought some.
I mean, first time I drank it, I remember, I'll never forget it. I was sitting at a bar in Savannah. I say a bar. I was sitting at a restaurant. I was sitting at the bar because I was just by myself.
Mhm.
I don't want to take up the table. So I'm sitting up there eating. And I got it. I got this. It was recommended. They're like, yeah, if you like this, and this, I know a few that I like. They said, try this. You'll like it. They said, it's really high proof, though. I'm like, okay, yeah. I drank it. I'm like, thanks.
That's really high proof.
Yeah.
Like,
Like Batman.
It was like they're over 120 proof.
Yeah, it was
all of
wild. I mean,
Yeah,
and I've had that before, but it didn't up here. It didn't register.
Yeah.
I would have known more if I drank a lot more coming up to it. Then I'd have been a pro. I know what that is.
I always tell people when you a bottle like that, you should prime. You should have something to drink before drinking.
Shit, no water.
I mean, you know,
It's hard to jump straight to that something high proof. So
I had to rinse my mouth out with fucking gasoline.
like we typically do higher proof stuff, and so we will usually prime before we even start the episode. Just to prime the palate a little bit, wake it up.
Yeah.
Well, it'll wake it up, all right. It's kind of like an alarm going off, and it's that loud, but
no,
like 3 a.m. when you have to go till 6.
Yeah,
It's that
rough.
alarm.
It can be rough, man. Like, and again, if you're saying you sat down at the bar and was like, "Yep, Stag Junior," good man. Like because that's not my.
I should have just sat down and said, "Hi, I'm an alcoholic."
Yeah, probably. Like really.
Because I mean,
Like,
that's what I felt like when I because the looks. They know what they're doing. They know what they're pouring you,
Yes.
and they know that you're just blindly saying okay, and they're laughing.
yes,
They're
absolutely.
going to the back room going, "This dumbass."
They're like,
This-
"Look at the camera.
this-
Watch the camera.
yeah,
Watch the camera. Watch
watching when he drinks it.
Watch this. Watch
Dude,
this.
I swear to God, I felt like I burnt fire. Oh, like I swear, I was a Pokemon.
Oh,
Charmander.
man, like,
Charmander.
no,
I
it's
knew
serious.
exactly what was going on.
That's
But it was so good though. And that's the thing. Like it did burn, no doubt. But the flavor just
it's
to
top
me,
notch.
it was so good.
Yes, it is.
And
very
that's
good.
what I was wanting. And I think that's what they were selling.
So you've
was
never
the
had
flavor.
Daddy Stay?
No.
Because
So-
if you like George T, you like George Jr. Like I mean, listen,
Junior and Daddy are
worlds apart. Like
man,
if you talk about flavor, like
they're about the same proof.
they're about the same proof, but one tastes way better. Like
It's not even.
try it.
It's not even fair.
No.
Like,
Well, I looked
it's
online
good as
for it,
good as
and
Junior
then I saw the
is.
price. I'm like, well, the car parts. I'm wearing.
Car parts.
Yeah, that's how I balance out my life.
He doesn't. He does not want to see our liquor cabinets because all he's going to see is car parts.
Yeah, we don't measure U.S. dollar in this house. We measure car part value.
that's crazy. Well,
That cost one turbo. Can't buy it. Too much. We don't have
I'll
that.
say, well, I don't have anything that costs one turbo. Cause
You know any Chinese whistleblower turbo price? Or $100 whistle Snickers?
Oh, we got plenty of.
Oh, that's
A
different.
little
man,
Taiwan
like a
tornado.
turbo in that.
Oh yeah.
Like I don't have anything.
Even
to do. So when you talk
wait,
about
wait.
car parts, you're not talking about a little bitty little turbo. No, you're talking about car parts for that.
Yeah.
You got one secondary, probably close.
No, how much?
How much did that turbo? Go? Do you know?
This is fucking recorded.
Clearly, I don't have one that costs
okay,
that much.
Yeah.
Okay?
No. Okay. So fair. You know,
You don't have
it
to
was
say
not
it.
that bad.
You don't have to say it. It's okay.
Comparatively speaking, to like an organ. If you were to buy an organ,
What?
Like not an instrument organ. Like let's say you needed to go buy a kidney on the black market. It was cheaper now.
Not much, apparently.
I wouldn't know.
So we don't have anything that expensive in the
All right.
collection.
You know, I wouldn't. In all seriousness, it wasn't that bad. But I do find myself in a lot of situations where there are things that I would like to have that I don't buy because I'd like to have car parts more. That's it. And bourbon is one of those for me.
It's a priority,
Right? Like, because I don't mind keeping a stock of bourbon, but I keep it under control because I know that no matter how much enjoyment I get out of that, it won't be the same as that. So I can
Right.
think of it that way.
What's so like? So for you're a car guy through and through, right? Like, the word you used earlier, which I don't consider myself, but we would probably say we're bourbon snobs, right? Like bourbon and cigars. Like,
Yeah.
so I
I'm a
spend,
car snob.
I literally spend most of my discretionary funds on bourbon and cigars because
Yes.
those are the
But
things I
that's fine.
enjoy most,
Exactly.
right?
That's
So-
what it really matters. We all
Right.
have
So
that
if
bias.
I was a car guy, I could completely understand, right? Like I don't own a Supra, like, and if I did, I'd probably be in the same boat as you, right? Like, but I own a lot of bourbon and a lot of cigars, and I don't know how to pass up a good deal on a bottle of bourbon.
Get it.
If I walk into a store and it's something that shouldn't be at that price, and
I do like that. I do like when I find that. When I
I'm
go somewhere and I'm
definitely-
like, oh, that's normally $20 more. I'm like,
yeah,
I better
I'm buying
get it.
it.
Yeah, it's the same logic my wife uses when she goes shopping, right? If it's on sale, she has to buy it.
I think they call
But
it
if something is 20% off of
See,
$5,000,
for me, it's more opportunistic.
is it on sale?
For me, it's more opportunistic,
Yes,
right?
it
So
is.
this one right here is a great example. Okay, there was not a deal on this cigar,
No,
but he had an old Dusty. I think probably been up there for 2 years or more.
and they're super hard to
So
find.
you bought the
They're super
environment it was
hard.
in as much as the cigar.
Right, I bought something
Yeah.
that's basically pre-aged, and you cannot find them by the box.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, they're hard enough to find in singles. And so for me, when it comes to, and I'm worse on cigars than I am with bourbon as far as opportunistic buys. I walk into a shop and I see something that I don't usually see somewhere. Give me the box.
Yeah, because I would say for the most part, like Jason buys more cigars, I buy more bourbon.
Yeah, see, I can't say that I don't buy as much bourbon, obviously, as you all do. You have a podcast where you talk about it, right? But I don't mind having a few bottles on hand, but I'm pretty bad with cigars.
Yeah.
It's but I enjoy it. I do it every day.
You smoke every day?
Every day.
No, I smoke every day.
I don't get to smoke every day.
Every single day.
Every day.
See, I wish I could.
Sometimes more than one. Most
Yes,
actually.
it's usually most days more than one. Same here.
But
that's the problem with having a home lounge.
well, yeah,
But
and a stressful life. I'm not gonna lie. Like, if people can say anything they want about addiction or vices, but it chills me out. Like, I feel better. I'm relaxed. But one of my favorite things to do while I'm smoking is read. But I also like to catch up on YouTube videos. I mean, that's where I watch your stuff.
Yeah.
Right? Is I will literally sit in this garage. I got a big TV. They can't see it. But there's a TV here. I just turn it on and listen. Like, it's just enjoy it to me. I'm just.
That's the same for me. I'll turn on videos or a show or a movie or something, and it's just super relaxing.
See, when I travel for work a fair amount, and when I'm traveling, that's what I like to sit and read. Smoke a cigar and read.
Yeah.
It can be work stuff or something I'm learning for work or just a book. I don't care what it is. I like to read.
Yeah, for sure.
My daughter's the same way. Dude, my daughter, she read 26 books this summer.
That's freaking awesome.
Like novel books.
Wow,
And I'm
awesome.
like, yeah,
So she's reading, book a week.
more. In
More
some
than
cases.
that,
Yeah,
yeah.
she's got 3 days and be done with a freaking novel. That's crazy.
Crazy, man.
I'm so jealous of the
Wow,
passion
that's
she
crazy.
has because you know how it started though. We're grounding her from the phone.
Well, that'll do it.
She didn't do anything bad.
Yeah.
But it was enough to like, okay, we gotta do something. Give me your phone.
Yeah.
And then she started reading, and she's always been kind of a reader.
Yeah.
And I say she'd read one book every couple of weeks. Is where she was at. And then when we took her phone, it was just like read.
Now you
And she'd stay up late. She'd not go to bed till 1 o'clock in the morning on a school night, and we'd
Reading.
catch her upstairs reading. I'm like, okay,
Hard to get mad
I don't
at.
know if I should be mad at
Right,
you,
hard to get mad
but-
at you
but
when she's
put
up
the book
reading.
down.
So
Yeah, I had to start to take her books away.
you have 2 children.
Mhm.
Charlie is pretty exceptional.
Charlie is a wonderful child. She's been through a lot. She's got a lot of drama on her mother's side. It's been very unfortunate. But she's lived with me now for I don't even know how long. And so my wife is, bonus mom, right?
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
she looks at her like a mom, which is something that is extremely hard to come by. And in fact, if I had to say the one measuring stick that I would actually have an expectation on my wife from, because expectations are the root of disappointment, right?
Mhm.
So I don't really put a lot out there, but the expectation was to be exactly like she is with Charlie. And so when that kind of showed through everything,
Yeah.
I was like, I don't care. I don't care what bad habits you have or whatever. The way you treat my kid, I'd marry you twice over again. Like, it's just. But Charlie she's really exceptional. She's very, very intelligent, dangerously intelligent. As a teenager, it's scary because she can get one over on you and you don't even know it.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
got manipulated real quick.
Yeah, she could sing. She could play several instruments.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
The singing is by far.
That's her gift,
Yeah,
right?
oh,
That's the
it's-
gift.
And it's so strange too because like nobody in my family has that talent. And I don't even really know where she got it. She just started doing it one day when she was like 6, playing around. Crap, you understand? Like she has that vibrato in her voice at 6. Like, And I just saw dollars. I was like, I'm about to make me a bunch of money. No, just kidding. But no, like she just kind of was good at it, and so she kind of took off. Now she sings like national anthems and like all kind of local events she goes
Wow.
to, and she's in choir. She's gone to Carnegie Hall and sang. It's all these really cool. It's so cool because you always want your kid to have the best of everything and to be the best at everything, even though it's like an unreachable goal. So it's not an expectation, but you want them to pursue it.
Yeah, for sure.
And it's nice because with her, it's just she naturally pursues exception. And my other one, she's 2.5.
Yeah.
very smart, but uses it for very different reasons. So she is the troublemaker. And
they say that's always the second child.
Yeah. And I never knew how true it was until I saw this. Her name is Monroe. The name should have given a lot of this away. It's like we named her after a diva, so she's a diva, and she is very much her own person.
Yeah.
She's gonna do whatever she wants to do, when she wants to do it, how she wants to do it. And if you've ever been looked at and you told somebody to do something, they go, "No," she'll do it in a way that you're like, "Okay." It's so weird. I'm wrapped around her finger, and the other one I'm not. Like I was tougher on her.
You think?
You
know? You're wrapped to a certain extent. We're dads.
I'm sure.
We're girl dads.
But this little
you're in trouble.
This little one, I mean, she can just be a little demon sometimes. Here's kind of hug me, demon, and here's like, and she's screaming at you and all this stuff. They're like, I just want to love you.
Yeah,
it's the weirdest thing. But yeah, they're very blessed.
That's awesome, man. I love to hear the excitement in your voice when you talk about your kids, man. That's freaking awesome.
But it's the only thing that I love more than cars. Family.
Yeah.
And that's a real thing. Too.
It's totally Fast and Furious and out right now. Like
yeah
absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, no, I jerk off to Vin Diesel.
Oh my god.
That's a joke. It's fucking Paul Walker. Pre-accident though. After the accident, not the same.
Not the same.
No.
Oh man.
Or messy. But no, that was a beautiful moment. I had to go fucking up.
Yeah, you did. You fucking.
But no, like, but seriously though, family is like these cars exist because of that.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the truth. Like, and I don't give my wife enough credit because I love to just give her shit. Not to her face though, because I'm a coward. But on camera, where she can watch it later and I can hide somewhere.
Yeah.
I'm all about it. But she is a big part of why this happened, right?
Yeah.
We have a nice house. You know, we must have asked for it, but cars and all this happens from support, right? And a lot of it though is that underlying support that no one else would see, that pushing me to be further, because you all know me as Steven that comes in the cigar lounge, or that, you know, I think I give off probably more confidence than I should.
We've had some conversations,
but,
man, like that. So,
but when I'm home, she sees that version of me that's crushing and wanting to know if I'm good enough for other people. I'm just down on myself.
She sees the vulnerable you.
Right. So like I've come home, like even that times y'all been around me, and I've come home and something's bothering me, and she sees it, and that support is like, it's a value that you can't put dollars on, right? So I have to say this because I want to give her that credit. As much crap as the people watching have seen me give her, they need to really understand that's just joking. And in reality, I wouldn't be sitting having a podcast with you if it wasn't for her.
Absolutely. Shout out to the wife.
Yeah,
wives.
cheers to her. Though.
Wives, because I think that's the same for all of
cheers
us. Right?
cheers to the wives.
Cheers to the wives, right?
If it wasn't for
glass
them,
is almost empty.
Mine
is
is
empty, but
empty.
you know,
Glass
cheers to the
is-
wives.
Cheers
Yeah.
to
You
the
know what I'm
wives.
saying? Like,
Absolutely.
I think all of us are better because of them. I know I am.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, I give my wife a ton of shit too, but at the end of the day, I wouldn't be the success that I am today if it wasn't for her in many, many ways. So she knows what it is.
and I put that one through it. I'm hard to be with. I'm hard to deal with.
I think every man is, like, you know, but they have their things too. So
Right.
You know, like,
I mean, we
a
make,
relationship is a give and take.
we make challenges for each other, right?
Yeah.
Dude, I give her
I
so
mean,
much shit for
It
like,
keeps it
she
interesting.
buys stuff and like keeps it forever. I don't know, it's a weird thing. And the house is like just full. It's like we were shopping another storage unit this weekend because I'm like, we need more space. And then I realized that I'm giving her so much shit that I come out here to the garage and like,
Yeah, you can't say much out.
too much shit. Yeah, because all this shit, that's a me problem.
That's how I feel about my bourbon collection. I really can't say a whole lot. Like,
No. I
look
can't-
over there and I'm
no,
like,
I can't say a whole lot
I
at
should
all.
just shut the fuck up, bro.
I did tell my wife though, I think yesterday, you know, she does all the crafting stuff, right? And I said, you know, you could probably not buy anything for the rest of the year and still not run out of stuff to craft with.
I mean, you can definitely not buy another bottle of alcohol and not run out of stuff to
That's
drink.
very
like,
true.
I mean,
That's absolutely
you know,
true.
so
Step back and realize
Listen,
that.
because we're so bad that we have stuff bunkered.
yeah,
Okay, like
yeah.
we got stuff bunkered.
Yeah.
Let's not talk about that.
No.
My wife and I, but we also have another problem with stuff you don't see around. Is a gun problem.
Oh, that's not a problem.
So we have gun problems.
That's not
So
bad.
we like to. We're that couple that just is fascinated by.
Do y'all go shoot often?
Not as often as we'd like. There's not enough people going around that are running around to shoot at. So we don't.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
You live in the wrong neighborhood.
Yeah.
You know,
I don't like where that joke's going.
you started it.
But no, we don't go as much as we would like. But we're very much gun fanatics. In fact, my wife and I have this one thing we want to get for the centerpiece of our dining room table. We have like a long dining room table. We want to get a Barrett 50 cal.
That's freaking awesome.
That's a centerpiece. But it's a $15,000 centerpiece.
I know exactly what it is.
So that's a lot of car parts.
Yeah.
See, that's why we don't have it. But that would be so cool. But like, you know how cool it is to have a wife. When you say, I want a Barrett 50 cal for the centerpiece for our dining room table, she's like, hell yeah. Like, it's like, oh.
So are you a carry all the time type of guy, or you just like to have guns at home?
Both.
Okay.
But yeah, so I do carry, which, I mean, you should. Everybody should. But
Jason is not that guy. So, like, we're getting into the weeds because I am that guy.
Yeah.
So,
I don't even own a gun.
So
well,
indulge me for a minute. What is your
So
EDC?
complete opposites here.
I carry an XDM Springfield.
Okay.
Yeah, 9mm.
Okay.
Great carry. My wife carries, I think it's a SIG.
365.
Yeah, 365 now, I believe it is. However, her favorite carry is one that's very unsuspecting. Her favorite carry fits in her little Louis Vuitton purse. She can't carry it on her body. It's a SIG MPX.
Okay.
9mm, 30-round magazine. Like, it's straight, it's badass.
Yeah.
And that's why she bought it, because it fit in the purse.
Mhm.
But she pulled it out, it's damn, it looks like a submachine gun, you know? And so we're in it, right? So that's where we are, and then we both love it, both enjoy it.
Yeah.
And I think for me too, I'm also an avid collector, as you know. So I like something, and guns are something to collect to me. And then I have that obsession problem too. Like if I'm in something, if I'm into something, I'm all into it.
That's what I bet. See, he tried to hide that one, like, he's like, car parts.
Right.
And then he just dropped another bomb, like, well, I also like guns, which are equally as expensive.
Yep. So we have a problem. I would say our debt to income, our income to debt ratio. Yeah. But
It's got to be all right.
Well, I mean, to be fair, I work really hard, work a lot of hours. Love what I do, and it does pay well. But my wife's no slouch either. She does well for herself too.
Yeah.
And she's very fortunate to have that. And a lot of it is obviously through hard work, but no fooling anybody. A lot of it comes from just being in the right family at the right time. And that's a very real thing that people want to talk about, because everyone wants to say, "Oh, we're self-made," which, I mean, by and large, we are. But at the same time, we're not going to sit here and gloss over the fact that if it wasn't for family and that support, that wouldn't be there either.
Yeah, I got you.
I think that's one of the reasons why I don't like to go around acting like I have more than anybody else, or acting like that's better than what anybody else is driving. Because I bought it, but I only bought it because the other opportunities were helped out by somebody else.
Yeah.
Right. So,
yeah.
All right. Well, so we've done a whole lot in these episodes. What we haven't done is talked about the cigars we're smoking.
We haven't.
Oh,
not very much.
Our page. That's right.
Yeah.
It's really good.
Yeah.
It smokes. Has smoke coming off of it.
So I mean, that's pretty much it. Like we kind of rate cigars on a couple of different things, right? So like price, construction, combustion, and flavor. I'm kind of at the point of like, I don't rate any of those individually. It's like either it's a good or a bad.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of a package deal, right?
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes we might give one thing a pass because it's not the greatest smoke production, or not the greatest price, or not the greatest availability. This one is probably the availability.
Yeah.
Is probably the problem, and I don't think that's a Diamond Crown issue. I think that's a retailer issue.
It is, because you have to. So this is J.C. Newman, right?
Yes.
So to get these cigars, you got to sell quite a bit to get these into your inventory,
and they're not cheap.
And most local cigar lounges just don't sell enough to get to this level of cigar.
Right.
So you're gonna find these at your Monsters, your CIs. What's the other place?
Like what, Burns? Are you talking
Yeah,
about?
Burns has them, but
Sometimes, yeah.
yeah, sometimes, but they're forever. They were the longest cigar shops. They were around when no one else was around.
Yeah.
So,
But it's usually your larger, lounges that are going to stock something like this for one reason or another. It's not a cheap cigar, but it's not an overly expensive cigar.
what was the price of this?
I mean, they're sub
Sub
$20.
20.
Yeah, I mean, so
18.
it's not cheap, but it's not
Something crazy.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? I mean,
Realistic,
this is,
if you're deep into cigars and bourbon, like
But I'll say this compared to the other, this is 100% worth the price tag.
yes,
Right?
for sure.
Where Caldwell came from,
Yeah.
they were worth it. Where they're at now, it's kind of like.
So again, I think
But this,
they get to label themselves as that boutique brand, and they're a
Yeah.
strong boutique brand.
yeah, they are.
So that gives them a little more leeway on pricing. And again, that pricing is going to be different everywhere you go, right?
Yep.
And that's not really a problem. Again, if you're really deep into cigars and you're worried about the difference between $2 and $3, you probably shouldn't be smoking cigars, right? Speaking of, we got a plug. Please make sure you like, comment, subscribe, hit that little bell so that you get notifications when we drop new content. We have not done that, you know what I'm saying? But make sure
I will go through and roast anybody in the comments. By the way. And I promise you that I'm better at it than you. That's not. I'm not.
Don't challenge these people.
I'm not being arrogant about it. I'm just trying to throw the challenge out there. If you can beat me in some throwing down,
Well, that's kind
I'll
of
give
funny
you credit.
you told me right before we started recording that in your earlier years you did some stand up.
yes, yeah. So if you haven't picked up on it by now, I know y'all have. The viewers have not. I have a dry sense of humor, and when I called myself an asshole, I meant every word of it. It's because of the sense of humor, right? But a lot of that comes from insecurity. So if I can joke and mess around, whether it be with you or myself, because I can joke about my hobbit self all I want to. I don't care. But it takes attention away from things that I don't want people to pay attention to that I have problems with.
Yeah.
So, like my height, right? I don't want people to focus on my height. I sit down a lot. So I wear hats a lot because I'm bald.
I make jokes about my eye all the
I
time.
always
People-
wear my pants. We don't want you looking down there.
I don't think you have to worry about that with us, but
You're the reason I'm wearing them.
I'm just saying, but I make a lot of jokes about my eye, so people always think it's funny, but I do it because I see you looking, so I might as well acknowledge it before
Yeah, you
do.
might-
But I like it too because I do like to mess with people,
Yeah.
and I don't want them thinking that I'm picking on just them.
Yeah.
Because that is where it kind of can get too far.
Yeah.
Because somebody can get their feelings hurt, and
A lot of people can get.
if someone gets their feelings hurt for something stupid, I'm just probably gonna give them more shit. But if I can tell that I've pushed it, I'll start going inward on myself, or because I don't mind. It's what am I gonna do? Not like myself?
Yeah.
I already don't anyway. So we're already there. But yeah. So I did stand up comedy when I was in college.
Okay.
Most of it was impromptu stuff. I did at times, but most of the time I don't have some skit that I'm following.
Yeah.
Right? I have my
You just
lines.
jump on stage and
So
go
I had my lines that I wanted to hit, right? But then in between, I'm feeling it with audience work, crowd work. I enjoyed that a lot. Got out of it because one, there's no money, well, not at my skill level, which is little, but two, time and school and everything else, right? Too, but I enjoyed it, right? I'm a good public speaker in that sense. Like I can get on stage and talk to anybody because I don't know how stupid I am sometimes. They say that ignorance is bliss, and in my
Sometimes.
case, it can be. But I like to mess with people. I say that to the commenters, the people that are watching and not commenting. I know who you are.
Oh man. Well, going to Eagle Rare this time.
Yeah.
You refilled. I didn't see what you refilled.
I got the Woodford Reserve Rye.
Okay.
But so have you ever talked to like your viewers? Because you do get a good amount of views on videos, right? And it's growing.
It's growing. It's
but I think
it's
that
a slow roll.
the people that do watch it, they need to know that at this point in the growth, you have a lot of people that watch because they know you,
Mm.
right? So you're still trying to get out there for more people
There's
that
a lot of
don't know you.
recurring people. Right.
Yeah.
But those people need to really understand that what commenting and what liking does
Oh, yeah,
for a
for sure.
video and the algorithm, right?
We probably don't hit that hard enough, right? Because at the end of the day, like we tell them all the time, right? Like our viewers, we were gonna do this anyway, right? Like me and Jason are gonna get together, smoke cigars and drink, and talk about cigars and bourbon. Now they just get an opportunity to watch us do it. Right.
We probably smoke one at the same time.
Yeah, I would hope at least, right?
Yeah,
Like, I hope some of y'all
But
light
it's
up.
important that those people do hit that like button.
Yeah, for
And
sure.
do make a comment, even if it's just, hey, I like the video. Hey,
Absolutely.
the video is shit. It doesn't matter.
Yes.
Say something
Yes.
because that stuff matters. And if you are someone that watches these regularly, it's important to do that because if you want to keep doing it or even just support friends,
So why
it
don't
costs you nothing.
Why you ain't commenting?
Because I don't support my friends.
he walked into that one. Like, I ain't seen your name nowhere in no comment.
I'll watch them. But you know what? If you don't have anything good to say, don't say it. That's not the case. I just don't know what to say.
Since when?
Yeah, I know.
You know, you can use emojis like you just fire muscles.
Because you don't know sometimes what level you're at with people where I can fuck with you, and you don't know whether I'm serious or not. And I'm like,
if I ever took it somewhere, I would just call you.
And okay, but we're friends on social media. You don't see me post a lot of funny stuff on social media because it's printed, so you can't put tone.
No, there's no context there.
So someone's gonna think that guy's a dick. In reality, I'm not. I don't even have one. How can I be one? So
he is an asshole though.
You got one of them.
He got one of them.
Two of them. Like one, I call it my front butt.
Jesus Christ.
Oh,
You don't know what the. Okay,
Nope, let it go.
But have you laughed as much on one of these as I'm trying to help you do?
No, definitely not.
I'm trying to make it somewhat funny.
It's
because
been.
I like to be funny.
It's definitely been one of those where we kind of just really got to hang out with somebody that we like to hang out with, and it didn't feel like we were recording. Like literally, we were just having conversations. Like, so that's always fun, man. Like, I think we try to make that the theme of most of our podcasts, right? We don't want to make it this like scripted.
Right.
We gotta talk cigars, gotta talk bourbon type thing. Like, I want.
There's never a list.
Yeah, I want you to understand that, like, this is a good cigar, right? And we like this cigar, but you've seen us do that. You've seen us smoke this cigar on other podcasts, but really and truthfully, when we bring a guest on, it's because it's somebody we like to smoke with, somebody we like to hang out with, and so it's simple stuff. Doesn't have to be crazy, doesn't have to be.
Just have fun with it.
Yeah, just hang out.
I mean, it's kind of one of those things. Even if you got blew up and became this big success at this podcast kind of thing, if you didn't enjoy it, that was the point, right?
Yeah, no, that would totally be my thing. Like, there were points where I told Jason, I was like, this is starting to kind of feel like work.
Yeah.
It started to feel like work, and I was like, we gotta change something up. We gotta do something.
Make it fun because that's what you started smoking anyway, right?
So
and you're already gonna be doing it.
Right.
Don't change the recipe.
We started
just put a camera in front of you and start doing it.
Yeah, we started this definitely to be fun, and again, like we enjoy the part of it where we get to smoke and drink and hang out with people, which we need to do more of that, right? Like we've said, we've got some things coming up. Like y'all will see us at Kentucky Bourbon Fest this year.
Yes, you will.
We already got our tickets, so we're going to Kentucky Bourbon Fest. I'm trying to talk Jason into some cigar stuff. I just got back from PCA. I did a horrible job getting content, but I got some stuff, so it's going to come out eventually. Like it's going to get out there. But it's also much easier. Like I went to PCA without Jason,
right.
So it's not the same as having my podcast partner there, right? Like and the homie. So I went with another friend who's great and owns a cigar lounge. But if we wanted to create content, it would have been so much easier if Jason was there because we know what we do, right?
But you could kind of do like some spin-off series.
Yeah,
too.
for sure.
Like you could do a white trash version called Methadone and Menthols.
No,
that'd be funny.
I'm not doing that.
I think a spin-off of this show where you go to a different environment and you do
like clan meetings.
Yeah, no. That'd be called Mask and the Task. That's a little different.
Get my Dave Chappelle on.
Yeah, dude. That's the kind of humor. I'm glad you said Dave Chappelle's on my thing. That humor. That's the humor.
Comedy used to just be comedy. Now everybody's in their feelings about everything.
Yeah.
Again, there's some things to be in your feelings about. I'm not gonna pretend like there's not. But comedy is comedy.
You know, in the audience.
Yeah.
That's the key.
For sure.
Which I'm horrible at, obviously. So. But no, like I think you're right though. But I think that you got to get comfortable, two of you, being alone, because you can't realistically always be together.
No,
you might as well get married. And I mean, I support that kind of thing. If y'all were wondering,
that's weird. That's fine too, but
it's
none of my business. I support that too. Like, do what you do. Like,
Yeah.
I think we'd be better as a people if we just mind our own business.
100% agree.
Yeah. But we're not going there. Like, we're not doing that. We have made it a point we never go there on our podcast. Right?
I like
so,
that idea. You don't want me going there.
No, we don't want anybody going there.
No, we do not. There is.
Well, you don't want to divide your audience.
There are two topics we just don't talk about.
Politics and religion.
Yes.
Leave them alone.
Granted, I agree. But they're great comedic topics.
I'm sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I think, how was PCA?
It was great, man. Like, it's completely different than your other things, right? Because PCA is an industry.
It's a retailer.
It's
event.
a retailer event, right?
Yeah.
So exhibitors, retailers,
Right.
You know what I'm saying, brands that are inside of the cigar community. So it was really cool to get there and see all of the different business things going on. It was really awesome to see all of the different brands that were there, brands that you've never even heard of, never seen before, and realize that like the cigar community is growing, like exponentially growing. So I've tried to tell Jason, like, look, we need to figure out how to do this next year for sure. I think it'll be really cool for us to get down there and do it. Like, the parties were incredible. You know what I'm saying? Like, the cigar manufacturers really put on a great show for everybody, right?
I've heard they do a good job with that.
Yeah.
They make an experience.
Yeah, it's an experience, dude. So I would say it's definitely very different, though. Like, if you've ever been to like a cigar event for like the public, right? We do the Barn Smoker. We go to the Barn Smoker.
Which even that's different, right?
That's different.
That's a one-off, right? Most cigar events for, end consumers are sales events.
Yes.
They're just massive sales events.
Yeah.
So
The Barn Smoker is not. Like, you pay for a ticket, you come get an experience. They give you lots of free stuff. So essentially you still buy that stuff, right? Because you pay for it.
But are they trying less to sell you and more?
You don't. There's not really
there's
anything
nothing
there
to buy. Yeah, there's nothing there to buy.
You know what I'm saying? So that it's cool. It's literally an experience. Like,
Best cigars are free cigars, like I said.
Right.
Well, they ain't free. Trust me, because the tickets ain't cheap.
Well, they're not. But most of these other events, you buy the ticket, you get some free cigars, and then you walk around, and their individual retailers are there for you to buy from them.
Yes.
Okay, so I mean that's just it is what it is, right? Now you're there to get deals, you're there to get swag, right? So it's not like you just walked into a store. It's more than that, and it's more than a store event too, where it's just like one retailer, or one manufacturer. You got 20, 30, 40 plus manufacturers out there, and they're all swinging their stuff, right, to try to get you to buy whatever, and again, you walk around and you try to find the best deals and the best swag, whatever, right? But that's mainly what those are. Yeah. But I commend Drew Estate from not making any of their events other than the store events, other their non-store events are all experiences.
Yeah.
So
that I think would be fun. Like, I feel like I would enjoy that.
So I've done the regular like cigar events, right, where it's just a sales event, and those are fun, but they're not nearly as fun as like Barn Smoker or any of these other ones.
And again, I think so. Like, the things that I kind of want to get us out to is like, Ybor City, Tampa. They have like a huge cigar heritage fest or something like that. I can't remember what exactly it's called, but that's always cool. You know what I'm saying? So there are these different little things. Like, there's something out in like,
don't they do one that's like a week long or something like that?
So there's a few of those. There's one in Atlanta, one in Houston.
Like a week long.
Like a cigar week. Like,
yeah, that's crazy.
They have them in like Atlanta, Houston. You know what I'm saying? So there's a lot of places that do those type of things. But then you also have like, I think there's one called like Rocky Mountain Cigar Fest or something like that.
I've heard about that one. Yes.
So there's a lot of things that that we decided that if we really want to grow our podcast, we got to get up, right? Like, we got to go.
Got to be visible.
Yeah, there's got to be something that we're actually gonna take seriously, get out and do.
I'm glad your mind's there, because a lot of folks that I see just kind of starting, they focus so much on the production of what they're doing, and less so on the experience, like we're talking about, giving the audience. Most people that are on YouTube watching a video, they're not necessarily there for the production; they're there for the entertainment value, right? And that's why, like, for me, like, I want to be funny, right? I'm naturally, I try to joke a lot anyway, but I like to joke because there's entertainment value there.
Yeah.
Right.
Because there's a better than average chance that anybody watching this right now has no idea what's about to come out.
Yeah. No, they definitely.
But that is the entertainment value, and that and what you're doing in this bourbon and cigars, it's going out and having an entertainment value that you're providing somebody that's more than just this production. Because I've seen these podcasts. They're just productions, but the shit they're talking about is shit.
Oh, yeah.
And it's not fun to watch it. I can turn y'all stuff on and actually sit here and watch it.
Because
And it's
just do
engaging.
what guys do.
Because I don't know what your questions you're going to ask. It's not scripted, and that's obvious because you can tell. And I think that's part of the charm. You can tell it's not scripted, right? Because there are those moments where you know that they're waiting on the next topic.
Yes.
That's
for sure.
fun to me.
Yeah.
But when you get on some of this other stuff, and it's just like,
You
I'm
can
not
take
going
a
to go
list
watch
in front
CNN.
of
I'll
you.
go watch CNN. I
Yeah,
don't,
like
I don't
a
need
list.
that.
They got a list of things that they're trying to hit and
Oh,
go
like-
through. Like
We sit down.
we've had none of that.
We got here, and there was no idea what we were going to set up. There was no like, hey, we're going to talk about this and this and this. So like, just be yourself. That's
Let's
the
just smoke
entertainment
cigars
value.
and drink.
More organic.
Yeah,
It's
that's the
way
entertainment
more
value.
Let's just
Yeah.
smoke cigars and drink, man, and have
Whatever
a good time.
comes up, comes up.
It happens.
That's the fun of it.
Unless it's religion
Because
or
the
politics.
reality is, when you go to a lounge and you hang out with the guys, or you go to a new place and you're meeting new, people, you don't ever know what you're going to talk about.
Absolutely.
You don't know what's going to come up, and that's what this is supposed to be. This is us inviting the general public, into, join us for a cigar and a drink.
Yeah,
You never know what's going to come up.
and that's what I like about when I watch it, is because I'm literally doing that when I'm watching it. It's like you're there. I just have to shut up because no one can talk to you.
You could comment.
Yeah, I'm like not good. I
You
could
could
comment.
comment. That's
I
the
could.
Good comment.
But no, okay, from here on out, though, just understand whatever comes out, you just got to read it as a joke. If you read it as serious, you're probably going to want to come back here.
I'm taking everything you post seriously. Just saying.
That's dangerous.
Yeah.
That's going to end up in hot water for all of us.
Oh man.
But I think that's a funny topic. That's why I don't do that, right? Because you don't know. I know y'all, right?
Yeah, you do.
But I don't know what some reader is going to be like. Dude, what the fuck is that guy's problem?
Yeah.
And I don't have time to list all that shit out. So
I mean, we've definitely had some comments that like I remember the big episode that we did at Cigar International. People were like, that person, should have been more well versed in cigars. And I'm like, man, if you expect a dude to know 500 different SKUs, and what each cigar tastes like, or like.
I think too, some of the outside looking in, they may not know what they don't know as a viewer,
so
right?
to that guy, we were a random two guys
Yeah.
walking in there. He didn't know anything about us.
Yeah.
He didn't know anything about our smoking profile. Like we gave him one criteria.
Yeah.
And he walked to the first thing that came to mind.
Yeah.
And if you'd never had that cigar,
It would have been a great
it would have
pick.
been a great ass pick.
And how arrogant is it for anybody to assume that someone doesn't know what they're talking about because of a video clip they saw? Right?
And that was my thing.
I could
Which
sit
I'm
here-
not trying to alienate anybody now. It's just the
I am.
idea of
Fuck.
it's just it's the idea that dude was not good at what he did because of one interaction, right? Like you've seen one interaction with two guys who happen to be more knowledgeable than the average person on cigars. Right. So
And he's
that's
not talking to those people.
No.
every day. He's
Like
talking
you're not
to
talking to
that
people
don't
like
know.
me. Right. He's not talking to people like me and Jason every day.
And if that, and if you're thinking, if a viewer is in that mind space, if they would continue to watch, they would see that he ended up picking a cigar that neither one of us had, which we asked him for, and we loved it.
Yeah.
And he
it was
met
very
the
good.
criteria.
He ended up meeting the criteria, and so
But
he
you never
actually.
know.
But they also didn't like the fact that he pulled out his phone and
I
read
mean,
this.
I mean, come on, man.
But I mean, you can't. No,
He's a normal human.
I mean,
Like-
come on, it's not Rain Man here.
No.
you
That's
know?
what I'm saying. He's
That's
a
what I said.
normal.
It's like 400 or 500 SKUs.
But you never know. Like someone can make a comment like that, and little they know the guy can break it down molecularly, and say, "Oh, this is exactly what's in this."
Yeah.
Under a
Like
microscope.
at the end of the
Like,
day,
you
I didn't
never
want
know.
him to start pulling out, what the wrapper and all the different components were and where they come from and what they taste like. Like that's not what we wanted. That's not what we asked him for.
Because we don't do that most of the
No,
time.
no, we don't. So like I know a lot of the descriptions will say that because I'll go look it up afterwards.
Yeah.
But I don't retain any of that. Like hardly any of it.
Like, can you
It's
tell
just
me
too
what
much.
type of wrapper,
No.
binder, filler?
Is in this?
Yeah.
Absolutely not.
Okay.
I couldn't even tell you what country it's from.
I know it's good.
It's a great cigar.
It's good. It's smoking good.
It's a damn good cigar.
Yeah, that's it.
Um,
Got good strength, good flavor, good combustion. It's got good construction.
It's not burning too fast. That's something I like.
Not.
Slow burn.
Well, so here's the thing. Our first cigars, we did smoke like 2/3 of them outside.
Yes.
This one, we've been pretty much inside the whole time. So we're getting a little bit better,
We're still there.
Yeah, but it's not the same.
Yeah.
It's definitely not the same.
But still, I think this is a great cigar
Yeah, for
for the
sure.
price.
sure.
It's
Such a
definitely, I
flavorful
wouldn't
cigar.
call it peppery, but it is heavier.
It's definitely a full.
Yeah.
It's low full body. I don't think it's full body.
I agree with that. But
It's a low full body.
I think the
high
size
hand.
of it helps.
but it is full flavored.
It's full
Yeah.
flavor.
Yeah.
Absolutely full
I think
flavored.
if you were to have this in like a longer or a fatter stick,
Mhm.
probably wouldn't be as good. I think the
So-
size is perfect.
They make this in a smaller ring gauge and slightly longer, and I actually prefer it over this one.
Really?
But this is, but this is the one he had. Yes. So they make this is like a 52 ring gauge, right? So they make one that's like a 48, but it's a slightly longer. So it's like almost like a double Corona or something like that.
That's my preferred.
And it is the perfect size for this cigar.
Yeah.
Because you get a little bit more flavor from that wrapper, right? A little less binder, a little less filler, and it's amazing. But this is still a great
Yeah, I like it.
great cigar.
And that's kind of the beauty of it too, is everyone's got their different taste.
Everybody
Like,
has.
I think this is phenomenal. I would sit out and smoke this.
Well,
I have
I was
said
hoping
so.
you had 3 of the Ave Marias because it's been so
Dude,
long since I did.
It's probably been 10 years since I've had an Ave Maria.
Let me tell you why I don't buy them as much anymore though. The prices have gotten stupid.
Okay.
So I used to buy because the only place I could find them was Cigar Bid.
Okay.
Well, I would say only place, the best place to find them at a good price. So you could buy like a 5-pack for $15.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not now.
No.
So then I started thinking, okay, is the value there for that? I don't know.
But you got to think, man, all cigars are up right now.
They are. But those went up a lot. Hi, baby. That would be the 2.5-year-old diva.
Hey, we with it. Like again,
So
this impromptu podcast. We don't care what interruption
Yeah.
happens.
Especially when it's the kids.
Which Ave Maria do you
The
like?
Reconquista.
The Reconquista. The
Yeah,
one in
however you say it.
the one in the coffin?
I told you this, dude. Like,
Really? That's like their high end cigar.
that you was getting it for $5?
You wouldn't get that for $5.
You get 5-pack for 15.
No.
Yeah, on Cigar
Wow.
Bid.
That's
yeah.
actually
That's
not $5.
Yeah.
crazy.
Let me tell you a funny
No,
story.
that's $3.
So let me tell you.
That's ridiculous.
Let me
'Cause that's
tell
like a $15, $20 cigar.
Yeah, that's why I bought them. Like I was buying by the hundreds. Funny story though. Okay, so myself and a buddy of mine that lives right down the road named Eric Lane. So he smokes cigars too.
Okay.
He turned me on to those cigars, and so we started. And he's like, "Okay, I'll get them on Cigar Bid." Well, therein lies the problem. Him and I both would bid against each other
When
and not realize it, and then you would
That's when you
see.
text.
You would see the bids, and then all of a sudden I started noticing EL Udoa. So you can see Eric Lane Udoa, but EL. Oh, okay. He's bidding on these, and then so we would kind of take turns, right? And my wife decided that's going to be a good gift for me for like a birthday or something. So I'm trying to buy these motherfuckers, and I'm
She's
like,
bidding on
"Who
them
the
too?"
fuck is this?" It's her.
Yeah.
So I lost to my wife. So she buys all these cigars, and she's like, "These were not the price you told me." I'm like, "No shit, Sherlock," because I was trying to buy.
That was
them. I
recently.
ran them.
That was like a year or so.
Yeah,
ago.
about a year ago.
I remember seeing
Yeah.
them online when you got them.
Yeah, but now like a 5-pack is $30, you know, which
That's
is still great.
good.
It's
Are you
still
kidding
great.
me?
It's still great. But I'm gonna say this too. I don't think that's a $20 cigar from the taste profile. I don't think it's worth that. I think it's
probably-
great at like 12.
It's probably their best cigar though.
Yeah, that's why I was
Because I've
one
had
of theirs
their
I
other
bought.
stuff.
Like I've tried their other ones, it's not close, but that one's great.
Yeah,
I
that
think
one's
it's like a
pretty good.
$12 stick.
That one has a really pretty presentation, like with the coffins and in the
Yeah.
box, and then there's like tobacco, like
And they're
Pieces
the
in there.
wrappers, not the wrappers, the bands on those are absolutely beautiful.
yeah, they're pretty.
Yeah,
great.
it's an overall great stick.
Yeah.
Like it smokes well.
Yeah.
It's got a great profile. It's got a heavier hit to it. I like that. I just think that at the price, like, because Cigar International sells them, they're like $22. And I'm like,
Oh,
it's
wow.
not worth that to me. Like,
wow,
to me, it's
they
not.
are.
But yeah,
That's
so-
a $20 cigar, no
But
lie.
that's why I was buying so many of them, because I was getting 5-packs of them for $15. You know, and the only time I ever paid more is because one of my jackass neighbors was bidding against me. Otherwise, I'd have got them cheap still. And then it was almost like people caught on, or people started. I don't know what happened, but it always seems to go that way. You find something great, and everybody's got to ruin it. Stop buying the motherfuckers.
The problem is like people like us tell people about stuff.
Yeah, that's a piece of it's shit. You want to know what a dick tastes like? Smoke that.
I mean, you told your buddy.
Yeah, no, he told me.
Oh, okay. Well, so he ruined it for you, or you ruined it for him.
Yep.
Oh, I haven't had one of those.
So I know your
I already
other.
know what the comments going. How do you know what a dick tastes like? Fuck, what? $5 is $5.
So one of your other favorite cigars, God of Fire.
Oh,
So which one of the God of Fire line is your favorite?
all of them. The Series B though.
Series B?
Really?
Because
The
it's,
Series
good
B?
because it's so available.
I'm a Carlito.
Okay.
Yeah, I like
No,
the
I'm a Carlito
Carlito.
guy too.
But
Yeah, Carlito.
I like the Series B because it's more readily available.
Okay.
And the price point is decent.
Series B has the black band.
Yes.
Yeah, Series B.
All of the others have red.
Well, the Anniversario is a black band too.
Yeah,
but,
okay.
but I think
Don
so,
Carlos,
no,
Carlito.
there is a secondary black band on both of them, but the Anniversario has, I can't remember now. One's a red and one's a black.
Okay.
Like the main band, up here, the primary band is different, but the Carlito are both red.
Mhm.
Have you had the KKP?
What I know of.
The who?
I haven't found it. It's some
Yeah,
special.
you said KK. He about to shot you. Glad that last letter was P.
That's them. It's some special cigar that they've got that they released last year, I think. I haven't seen them. Nothing. Like I was gonna get a box of them.
Did you try to order them? Like
I
nothing.
mean, I tried looking for them. I can't find them. I mean, I think it's just super rare, like ultra super rare.
I saw one. I'd like to try that.
Yeah.
You know, another great cigar. It's kind of contentious though. Some people don't like it. It's kind of hot. I love it, but the rare pink.
I'm not the biggest fan.
I love them. Like in fact, the only shop around here that gets them is Burns, right?
I know
So-
for a fact they're coming to another shop.
So they get them, but I buy the limit every size because I just like them, and I like the cause because it's all about it's for breast cancer awareness. So I like the cause, but I love the stick. Like, and I love the stick, the names they have for them, right? So a favorite one's called the Sophisticated Cooker. I know, and it's the biggest. I love
Shout
it.
out to John Crowder.
Right?
Yeah, there we go.
Miss Never Forgotten, baby.
Yeah,
That was
absolutely.
he was hell bent on getting a sophisticated.
I wish
Yes.
I'd have known that. I brought him one or
Like,
two. Like that was the stick, man. I love that cigar. Did he ever have one?
I think he got one at some point, but
Well, yeah, but in the business situation, like we never could have predicted it was going to happen.
no.
Now I'm like, dude, I'd have given him a handful of them. Shit,
Yeah,
like
for sure, man.
yeah, that is one of my favorites, for sure.
I didn't mean to bring the mood down. Whatever.
Yeah, man.
Sorry.
You wouldn't cry, but
That's my homie, dog. Like,
Yeah.
he's all of our homies. How could he not be? He's such a nice dude.
he was an asshole too.
Not to me.
Yes,
We talked about kids.
Okay. I knew him for 20 plus years, so.
Oh, I didn't know him for that long, so he didn't
Went to
have
high
time to
school
learn
together,
my
so.
assholeness. No, he was always super nice to me, and yeah, but you brought the mood down for sure. Yeah. How do you feel on camera about it? Tell the camera. Look out. Sorry, guys.
Yo, this is probably going to be like if this isn't one of our best episodes,
So it's one of our best, but it's also going to be one of our longest. Yeah. So
Longest. Should we wrap it up?
I would say sorry about that, but I'm not sorry.
All right, we should wrap it up. We're gonna finish smoking without you guys.
That's their way of saying we don't know what he's about to fucking say. Get him off.
That's not it at all. Like we found out based on the algorithm, like crazy long episodes don't work for us in most cases. You feel free to send all of your car buddies to watch these.
I have no problem with that.
You know what I'm saying? So
Car buddies, I just need to get them more sophisticated and do the thing goes working on cars.
nah, man,
Man, they can turn on the episode while they work on their car.
absolutely.
Yeah, they could do that. I don't think they're gonna do that. They should. I actually turn on YouTube videos right here all the time when I'm working on the car.
There you go.
But
Do you use the YouTube videos to work on cars?
no, I'm a mechanic, so I can actually work on a car. I will say that though, there are times it's helped me. There are things that you just don't know until you run across it.
Yeah,
And you're like, Google that shit, and you find it out. It is a great tool to use.
Okay.
Mostly for housework though.
All right, so
Just don't go through my history. How to poison your wife. Just kidding. Okay.
we're gonna cut that out. No, I'm kidding. So here's the thing that we do. We're gonna get you involved. So we're gonna only do the cigar though because we all drink something different.
Sure. Yeah.
So we like to do what we call final thoughts. So give us your final thoughts on the Maximus.
Okay. So I like the size, but I like them small, and dainty. But I like the size of the cigar. I think it was really great for the flavor profile. the cigar. I think it made it taste, and I've had both sizes because they get around. But I've had both sizes. The smaller one, it definitely feels like it has a more full body to me.
Okay.
Which I guess everybody's gonna be a little differently. I don't. It is heavy. It's not peppery, which I think is an important differentiator for a lot of people because a lot of times people that I've talked to about cigars, when you say heavy, they think peppery. Right?
Okay.
And I don't think it's peppery at all. Definitely full body. Burn is good. The wrapper itself, I don't think the wrapper really gives it much flavor. I feel like most of the flavor that I get comes from the filler.
I mean, that's from the size.
Yeah, and which again, I think it's a good thing.
Yeah.
Right. So
Okay.
Overall, bird's great stick, worth the price, I would say. Really worth the price if you don't smoke every day.
Yes.
If you smoke every day, it becomes kind of that is a crutch. Right?
If you smoke this every day.
Yeah. So what I would say is good cigar to keep in your humidor. Once a week, you're fine, or less. But a great stick overall.
All right. I guess it's on me. So I think I am in the same place with Steven. It's definitely a very good cigar. If you guys know anything about me, it's one of my favorite cigars. I smoke them every time I buy them. I can't help myself. It's a problem. Great construction, great combustion, plenty of flavor, plenty of strength. Can't go wrong with this cigar, man. Like if you've been smoking cigars for any amount of time and you have not tried this, doing yourself a disservice. Go out, find them at your brick and mortar. I don't know that I've really seen them on any discount pages online. Not going to happen, right? But you can order them online. You can get them delivered. It's just you're going to pay a premium for them. But that's what I got. It's a great stick overall. One of my favorites. Every time I have them, I'm smoking them. Can't help myself.
I feel you. I mean, I've got a box, and before I grabbed these three, I had smoked two since I bought the box.
Okay.
That's how rarely I smoke these. And it's not even the price, it's just the rarity of it.
Yeah.
Right? The speciality of it, right? You're talking about once a week. I'm like once a month. If that, like your birthday's back in January.
Yeah.
It's April and I've smoked two.
That's crazy. I've probably been through the box by now.
Like
It's like a cigar done.
Yeah.
But I have several boxes that are of this caliber that they're there, but they're there for special occasions or they're there to share with friends. I probably smoke stuff like this more often with other people than I do just by myself.
I get that.
You know what I'm saying? Because this is a cigar that works really, really well to share with other people, especially if they've never had it before. You get them something like this, they're like, oh, what's that? Right? And the band was pretty ornate.
Yeah.
We didn't talk about the band, but I mean, it's pretty ornate. It's a beautiful band. But the cigar is amazing. It tastes amazing. The flavor profile is so good. The retro on this, like, it's so powerful.
Yeah.
But I love this cigar. I wish I could smoke it all the time, but it's a little price prohibitive. It's also a little, find it prohibitive.
Yeah.
So yeah, you can go online and you can probably find a box, and order, whatever. But
It's not fun.
yeah, it's definitely not fun.
Like a cheat code.
Like it's really great when you find something like this out in the wild and you're able to make that opportunity buy.
Yeah.
And so I was really happy to find this in some little shop in LJ or wherever it was. I mean, this is a little video place, and they happen to have a freaking box just sitting up
So
there.
he's saying a little video place. It ain't that small.
Well, no, I'm thinking more
It's
like
smaller,
the
but
town. I guess I'm
the
thinking
town itself is small.
Small town.
But if you ever happen to come down to the Georgia area and you're in the mountains or at a cabin and you smoke cigars, go check out L&J Cigar Lounge.
Yeah, was that what it was called?
I think so.
I can't remember.
It's the only one there.
You're right.
It's
Yeah.
probably important to mention too, like no matter where you're watching from, you have a brick and mortar.
Go support
Go
them.
buy cigars.
Yeah,
like
go
that.
support that.
Because what we don't want as an industry, by and large, is a strictly online market.
Mm-hmm.
That's not great. And I'm glad you mentioned buying it at a brick and mortar because it is that find it situation.
Yeah.
Right? That makes it better. I know that sounds stupid.
No,
If I can just go buy it anywhere, is it
Because it's
special?
a story.
Right?
It's a
Exactly.
story.
It's a story. It's good. Oh, I found this at so and so.
Yeah.
You did.
Right.
I think that's
You know,
really
little
cool
dusty
story
box,
for
right?
a cigar.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Like the thing had probably been sitting there for 2 years. The Carlitos that I bought from a place, they had them for a year, and I knew that because they have the year on them.
Yeah.
You know, so I knew that they had them for a year. You know, so rare finds, and I don't know, it's just it's fun to make those finds and to grab those and hang on to them.
And that's still true whether it's a $20 cigar or a $50 cigar or a $5 cigar.
Absolutely.
Like I can't tell you how many $5 cigars that I just found out in the middle of nowhere. It's all they had, and I'm like, oh my god,
Man, we've got
where is it?
another
the
place.
McAuliffe, right?
What
Is that what it's called?
The McAuliffe?
McAuliffe,
Yeah,
they're good.
not expensive at all. Freaking phenomenal.
Yeah,
Go find one somewhere.
I just got to sit down with McAuliffe at PCA.
You did.
It's cool.
But anyway, let's wrap it up.
All right, man. Y'all know what it is. Another episode of High Proof Ashes. I'm Duran, no cool nickname. Our guest today, the asshole. Your name is?
Oh, the asshole.
You gonna leave it there?
No, it's Steven Cooke.
You have a YouTube, right?
Well, I kind of play with it. I'm not great at it like you are. I like
We're
more,
not great.
I like more Instagram stuff. I don't have to show my personality because we all know that's a approach.
All right, give them your Instagram.
Steven A. Cooke. I know. Weird. But you'll see my car on there. I post car stuff because I don't have enough personality to post anything else. So I post car stuff, and it's usually this Supra, all kind of cool two-step launching videos.
Yeah, man.
Stuff like that. I post the Corolla on there because it's the new thing. I enjoy it. But yeah, it's Instagram. Hit me up if you got any cool cigar recommendations, and really drop comments if you got cigar recommendations for these guys.
Yeah, sure.
Because that's probably one of the better stories that goes with cigar too, is when someone recommends it.
Yeah.
And you go find it, and you get to because you get to experience what they do.
Absolutely. Absolutely. There it is. And my partner to the left.
Jason JV Smoke. Thank y'all for joining us.
Put some smoke in the air.
Put some smoke in the air, man. See y'all on the next one.